Um, Speaking of which, let's go into the stacks because I don't think there's much more we can really say about pitching. I don't think without looking into these stats, not much is going to pop out to us. This should be a little bit of a longer section because I think there's more bats we're going to like than pitching, obviously. What are some of the offenses that do stand out to you?
Boston against Tanaka. Like, Boston is fighting for their lives right now. They're like 11 behind the Yankees and like 2 or 3 out of the wild card. And there's like 6 teams in that wild card race in the AL East. It's like Oakland, Cleveland, Tampa, the Angels, like, and you know, if they fall off, they could become sellers before the deadline. Like, this is a major series for them. And Tanaka's been pretty solid this year, but he's like prone to giving up long balls in small parks to right-handed bats. JD Martinez looks like he's on the verge of like a big hot streak. Rafael Devers and Bogarts are 2 of the hotter hitters in baseball. Mookie Betts is finally waking up. Jackie Bradley's continued to stay pretty hot. They're getting Moreland back. Really like the Boston Red Sox at home against the Yankees. And also have interest in the red hot Yankees on the other side against Rick Porcello, a guy they've seen a ton. You know, maybe if the Yankees are going to be majorly popular, he'll become like a leverage option that I'd be, you know, really scared of playing, but would probably offer you a lot of leverage. But I just expect this to be similar to the Yankees Twin Series with a bunch of like 10-7 type games. And those are my 2 favorite offenses right now.
I think it makes sense. I mean, the Yankee bullpen we had seen before the All-Star break that they were getting very home run prone, and you kind of just thought it was going to go away. But like this Minnesota series, that bullpen's been ass. Like, as good as the offense has been for the Yankees, their bullpen's been bad. I mean, Minnesota's doing that dirty, and it's not like they're leaving their starters in there to get shellacked for 7-8 innings. Like, so it's a good point. What else you got?
Oakland against Gerardo. You know, he's sort of reverse splits. Oakland's going to send all those righties in against him, and Texas bullpen's been terrible. I could just see Oakland, who's, you know, can't figure out if they're hot or cold. You know, Matt Olson and Laureano are 2 of the hotter hitters in baseball, and like, I think any moment now, Chris Davis is going to snap out of his slump and get hot. And, you know, they just project really well against Gerardo and a bad bullpen, so they are very interesting to me. And then lastly, like the Angels against the Baltimore bullpen game, like Mike Trout, Ohtani, Justin Upton. They don't have an implied total just yet, but it looks like it'll be 80 degrees, sunny, a little bit of wind blowing out to center. You know, the Baltimore bullpen has been very bad almost all season, giving up a ton of home runs. And the Angels are one of the better offenses out there that don't strike out. I like them as well.
Yeah, again, I agree with you. And kind of like we said, whenever there's not a lot of good pitching to pick from, there's typically a lot of bats to discuss. And that's the case once again. I think the Angels in a very good spot. They've been playing well in general, aside from that against the League where they almost got, you know, no hit, perfect game, whatever. The last time Yacobonis pitched, I think it was against the Red Sox, he only lasted a third of an inning, gave up 7 earned in that span. Obviously, this is not nearly as good of a park, but it's still Baltimore and what is going to be a bullpen game. So I'm with you. The Angels do stand out. It's also a bullpen game for the Tigers. I think the Mariners are kind of interesting. You had pointed out a few days ago that a lot of these guys were hitting the ball harder, and we're starting to see that kind of come. It's starting to show in the results, not just in their hard contact rates. So those are 2 later games that I think maybe the ownership won't be as high on because they have to get through teams like the Indians against Montgomery. They have to get through that Yankee-Boston game, which is like an awesome, awesome game on paper. And again, like I haven't caught the Yankees over these last few games, and as much as I like that game, I'm a little nervous about what the ownership may be there. But I guess it's going to depend on if people can fit these guys, because they are very expensive, with Berrios, because you know they're going to want to play Berrios. So can they fit these guys with Berrios? If they can't, then the ownership on that game is going to be a little bit lower. And that you could end up with like a team like the A's, like you said, who I do like, and not to mention the A's historically are very good against sinkers. Eduardo, big-time sinker baller. But we could see a team like that end up becoming more popular because they couldn't afford to play the Red Sox and Yankees.
Cleveland will be popular, although those prices are starting to rise. Mercado's 5.3, Lindor 4.9. Like, Mercado should never be more than Lindor, but whatever. But they got some cheaper bats against Montgomery, who just got bombed, plus a Royals bullpen. I think they'll get some traction. And, like, who do you think will be more popular, the Yankees against Porcello or the Red Sox against Tanaka?
I would definitely think the Yankees against Porcello.
The Yankees. Yeah, I think so, too.
I mean, like, Tanaka's actually a good pitcher. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people are going to be dying to pick on him. But you know, Porcello, sure. Like, who the hell would? I mean, it's hard to say, dude, because, like, we were just talking about the SP2s. And, like, do we really think Plutko's going to be chalk? Like, do people, like... Because, like, they're going to look at this and they're going to see Porcello down there. And that's a guy that, like, has been chalk several times despite the fact that he sucks. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see.
Yeah, I think that's, like, usually against, like, Baltimore or Detroit or something.
No, that's true.
I don't think against the Yankees. But, I mean, looking at the prices, LeMahieu 5.4, Judge 5.6, Hicks 5K, E5 5.4, the Red Sox, Xander 5.2, Devers 5.3, Betts 5.2. Like, you're not going to be able to full stack either one of those with Berrios and a Plutko combo even, although that's not that expensive. But that's, like, both those pitchers are going to be so popular tomorrow because it's, like, the only reasonable option.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that.